APTMA goes to Mr. Shahzada Alam Manu. The second award for Legends of APTMA goes to Mr. Bashir Ali Mohammed. The third award for Legends of APTMA goes to the late Mr. Razak Taba and is received by Mr. Naveed Yusuf. Congratulations to all the Legends of APTMA. Mr. Chairman, I'd like you to kindly remain up there and please present a memento to our chief guest this evening. As a patron of business and industry, he's been an invaluable resource for APTMA, and to express our appreciation and mark the occasion, this memento is being presented. No introduction could do justice on this occasion, and it is a tremendous privilege for us to honor His Excellency, the President of Pakistan, Mr. Asif Ali Zardari. I'd now like to request the President of Pakistan to kindly present a memento to the Chairman of APTMA, Mr. Gauhar Ijaz. I'd now like to welcome the Chief Guest to kindly address this House.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Chairman, Gauhar Ijaz, my young friend and my son, ministers, members of the Parliament, excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to your presidency. This road which we travel together, indeed, I take pride today in the fact that we have a young chairman of APTMA. This is the day which I have been waiting for the last 25 years. Many times I asked my friend Bashir here and Yunus Taba, who I worked with, that let's hand over the future to the coming generation, for it belongs to them. And I take pride in the young lady who represents APTMA. She reminds me of my daughter. Inshallah, we are with you. And let me tell you, sir, I believe in Pakistan. I believe that we will stand. Yes, these are difficult times, but then we are a nation. We are not a public limited company. There are shares are going to go bust. Nations have risen out of ashes after wars, after famine, after disease. How many wars have there been in Europe? How many wars have there been in the world? But after all, those nations are today considered the first world nations, and they all come through an evolution, through struggle. Sir, my young son, I promise you, let's make this year the year of the textile. I have forever believed in not reinventing the wheel. I'm not against new industries, I'm not against new ideas, but we have not reached our optimum in the very field that we have already been for the last 30 years. Let's reach the optimum here and keep maintaining the other industries, the leather industry, the new industry. I keep trying to explain to the world, there was a time, the same India which is known as Shining India, and Manmohan Singh himself, who is the architect of this new economic giant, had no credibility in the world and had to mortgage their gold to get $250 million loan from the world. So nations have developed, but there is one thing that you've got to take: ownership. Ownership of policies. Now Bashir is going to get very mad at me, but I must share this with you, because this is a challenge which will come in the future. When our late leader, Shahid Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto, had the vision to sign 40,000 megawatts, and Bashir Bhai was with us while we were making those policies and had ownership of all the other giants of that time, the government was illegally overthrown. You did not take ownership of the policy. The policy we gave, product it was giving, generation was going on, the policy had no ownership. So what if the architect was in prison? You, the beneficiaries, were there. You should have fought that government. You should have told them that you are playing with our future. And sir, my young sirs and my young lady and our elders, I want you all to own the policy. Yes, I'm there to guide you. I'm there to be with you. And I will support you. I accept the fact, let's have a meeting every three months. I accept the fact, let my mobile number be with Gohar Ejaz. Let him give me an SMS at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't assure you that I'll answer the phone, but I will get back to you. That is an assurance. And there is nothing that Pakistan lacks. We have everything. The only thing that it lacks is continuity, and which will only come when the business community, when you take the ownership. Politicians may come and go. We will give you a policy today. You've spoken about Yunus Taba. Let me share a small incident with him. He was putting up, if Javed Saab remembers, his cement plant, I think, in Pakhtunkhwa province. And he came to me asking to support, because in those days the banks were all nationalized, so he came to me asking for support to help him get the loan. I said, Yunus Bhai, why are you asking for loan? Why are you going to the banks? He said, to fir kaise karega? I said, I'll tell you a formula. Why don't you go to the stock market? He said, kaise jayega? Product nahi hai, zameen pe nahi hai, bana nahi hai. Maine kaha, relax, leave it to me. And then in those days we had a very conservative advisor on finance, Mr. Jaffrey. So me and Taba Saab and Javed Saab, who's here, we had huge issues with Jaffrey Saab, and we had to force him. I just got them the permission to go to the stock exchange before the industry had started. I said, I asked Jaffrey Saab, what's your problem? He said, this is the law and that is the law. I said, forget the law. He's not asking for a bank guarantee. He's not asking for your support. All I'm saying is let him go to the stock exchange. If he gets the money, fine. If he doesn't, it's his problem, not yours. And alhamdulillah, I'm happy to share with you, and Javed will bear me out, that industry came out without any debt. It was a self-equity finance industry. And today it's working. I don't know whether it belongs to the Tabas today or belongs to the Saifullahs today. But it is done. It was doable. I remember the time. Billion, my young friend, is today easily said. But when we were there in 88, in 89, in 92, billion was a figure when one had never thought of. And They were going to privatize PTCL. Same Naveed Qamar here, he was the privatization minister. Luckily or fortunately for him, the Prime Minister had left for Egypt, for Cairo, for an Islamic conference on women, and he came to me and said, she's given instructions, we've got to do this deal in $243, I think, $million. I said, hold your horses, hang on. Why do you want to sell it for $243 million? He said, well, what can we do? I said, relax. I called some people from the business community. We took it to your stock exchange, and would you believe it, this is 1993, we managed to get $1 billion for 10% of PTCL. So these are things that are doable. Even today, I've been asking my finance minister, I've been asking my finance minister in Sindh, the whole option is and concept is to use your stock exchange. I've asked them to give, and we are trying to in the province of Sindh, give the infrastructure of Pakistan on BOO basis. So it becomes a tangible asset. And then 20% you can bring in a company which has a name, rest 80% we would like you to go to the stock exchange, float the shares, get the money from the market. On BOO, it's like your industry. This bridge, this road is an industry, it's forever yours. That is the way we'll have to bring in the private sector into working, because the government should not be spending its hard-earned or less taxed or whatever, however the finance minister wants to phrase it, money on at least concepts that we can. And what are we doing? We are not inventing these concepts. We are just borrowing them. It's been done in the world. It's been done in the world for 30 years, for 22 years. The reason I'm talking 99 years, because A, it is a new concept in our society, in our country. B, I don't want them to charge them as much as 10 bucks or 15 rupees or 35 rupees. I want the rate on the toll to be lower, and that can only be lower if it is for 99 years. So you and us together we will make Pakistan. Pakistan is still, has been, I will again quote another friend of mine, the great Honorable Ambassador Holbrooke. The first time we met as me as President and he as the advisor to Pakistan and Afghanistan, we'd known each other before, but we'd never met in this capacity. So the first time we meet, I said, I told you that Pakistan is geostrategically located and it has great importance and it has great opportunities. Yes, and he turned around and said, I don't know whether it's a curse or an opportunity for you. So yes, we have an issue. We have a problem that we were the frontline state. The frontline state against a Soviet Union, which was considered then the evil empire. We worked, we managed the first European Pakistan conference that